The battle of the genes. The battle of the genes, Lord set me free. From this battle of the genes, I got the victory. The battle of the genes, Lord set me free. From this battle of the genes, I got the victory. The battle of the genes, Lord set me free.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
We're calling you out.
Sickle cell warriors, leaders, doctors, and caregivers.
This is the call.
Tune in to The Call, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
To sickle cell trait awareness.
This is the call.
To acceptance of yourself and others around you.
This is the call.
To finding your purpose through creativity.
This is the call.
To living above sickle cell.
This is the call to unity in community.
So call in 323-473-3100 to
The Call.
Saturdays 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
All right. Good evening and good afternoon. Welcome. This is The Call. KC, you was going to drop that on me?
I was going to drop that, brother.
All right. You want to try it again?
No, it's okay, man. I'll sneak it in there.
All right, cool.
The call.
All right. Well,
The call.
take it away.
All right, man. And welcome. This is Brother KC, and we're bringing the call out to our community, the call for unity, the call for action. This is the call for increasing our voice and the power of our voice. I want to tell you who's on deck with me. We got Diamond Ray.
It's your boy, you already know, the one and only.
Hey, and Omika.
Hey, y'all.
All right, and we're a warrior down today. We got an injured warrior, Shebrian Howard. She's in the hospital right now, but she's warring up. She's going to call it in a little bit later.
She's on the battlefield.
She's on the
The
battlefield.
battlefield.
Man, I tell you, I can't
Battlefield.
wait to share for her to share a bit about the experience she had in the hospital, a new hospital, and you know how that can be for us guys. It can be torture, and I tell you, it was a really tough time, but we learned a lot in the experience. I had a chance to shadow with another advocate in that situation, and I tell you, it was a powerful result where, I mean, I think we finally got through to somebody, and we just thank Shebrian for being the kind of the guinea pig in that situation, because there were a lot of people who needed to learn about treating sickle cell disease in the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's what the call really is about. It's about boots on the ground, and I'm sorry, I gotta give it to Sarge over here, who's been boots on the ground for us for so long.
Man, just in the battlefield.
In the battlefield, man. And I'm just so thankful for you.
I'm fighting with y'all, man. I'm
and-
fighting with y'all.
Hey, right,
Absolutely.
with
Absolutely.
with us.
And
That's what it's about.
Is my community. And that's what the call is about. It's about being community and being in unity wherever you're at, understanding that there are warriors near you that you can get with to try and create some change in the community. We need to really increase the power of our voice. We got some great people doing some great things in this community, and the call wants to be a support to any leader in this community who has a plan that they can bring to this community that's going to be a help. As far as the call is concerned, I really want to have the conversation about what unity and community means to the people in our community. There's been a lot of talk out there about unity and about what it means to be community, and so we want to give you a chance to talk about that issue. We only got one rule here on the call, and that is it's kind of like a Philippians 4:8 rule. Whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, whatsoever things edify. These are the things that we want to talk about on the call. We're not calling anybody out in a negative way. We're simply calling you out to get together with us and to get together with other warriors, and let's really bring it to fight this enemy, sickle cell disease, that is the enemy of our souls. As we move forward, today each of us will be sharing a little bit about the vision that we have for the call, and really showing how this manifests for us as far as being community and and what it means to walk in unity and be authentic about it. Again, it's such a challenge when we're fighting from our backs sometimes, and you see so many of the warriors in the sickle cell community who are putting it out there for us. Again, I am a big fan of the SC3 consortium and Dr. Bailey, and I'm going to give her love anytime I can, because she is representing as warrior walk. And that's what we're talking about. It takes unity. It takes organization. There are a lot of good organizations out there. I mean, I give love to SCADA anytime I can, even though I know that not everybody's with SCADA.
To who?
I'm sorry,
Who, Casey?
The SCADA being the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America.
Just so you
That's
guys
how
know.
I pronounce the acronym, and I've heard other people pronounce it that way. So,
Okay.
when I was in Illinois,
DJ
it was
said who?
SCADI.
Scatter.
Right, it's SCADA. In Illinois, it was SCADI. So.
They all
So
over.
we're thankful for that organization again. The Sickle Cell Disease Association of Illinois was my first connection to this community, and again, it's amazing how you can live in complete darkness and not understanding anything about a disease that you've lived with for your whole life. And again, that is part of our battle, is to make sure that no one else is walking in that darkness, no one else feels alone, no one else doesn't understand that you have community. You have people who care about the issues that you're going through, people who will support you and show up and make a difference. Again, this is about boots on the ground work. Again, we have great CBOs out there. We have some great organizations that are getting the CBOs together, and all that is beautiful. But it always comes down to the warrior, where you're at and what you're going through and what you're doing about it. And so that's the encouragement that we're going to be bringing out through the call. We're so thankful again for the opportunity to have a platform where our guests can come here and share with the community their plans for making changes in the community. I will personally be bringing my own plans and sharing those with you, and as will my host, that will be bringing plans that you can get together with and that you can come into agreement with. We have a lot of issues in this community, and not every issue is affecting every person. Okay, but there are things that we have enough things that we have in common that we can definitely agree to fight about. There's a great issue that is being addressed to the SC3 consortium, and as we come into Sickle Cell Awareness Month in September, where we're going to be addressing the issue of our treatment in emergency rooms, and that's something that is on my docket, and I'll be bringing that to the call, and challenging our warriors to stand up and really speak out on this issue. Again, I went through an amazing advocacy process this weekend with Chebrion, and I tell you, these doctors are defending their right not to treat our pain with the same passion that we have for asking them to treat our pain. We have, some very good reasons why, we fight, because we know that we're losing people in this community, and that's unacceptable. One of the reasons that I am doing the call, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the call, is because I am blessed to be 58 years old living with this disease.
Amen.
And it's tried to kill me many times. And I've honestly only been engaged in this community to the level that I am now for the last 2.5 years. And the most shocking and amazing thing to me is the fact that there are still kids suffering exactly the same way I suffered 40 years ago in the hospital. The fact that this still exists just amazes me. And then when I find out that the most at-risk aspect of our community is between the ages of 18 and 30, that is a horror to me. It's something that, as someone who's been blessed to make it through all I've been through with this disease, and even what I go through now, to realize that, I still probably have a better chance of making it to 60 than some of these kids do. That is ridiculous, and that's worth fighting for. And that's what the call is about. The call is to make sure that we are doing absolutely everything we can as individuals, as organizations, as warriors on the battlefield, to make sure that we are creating change in that area, if no other area. And there are many other areas that we can address, and that's for sure. Anybody else want to share a little bit just for a second before we go to break here?
All right, yeah, even more. Just going back on to what you were saying, I do want to give a shout out to Dr. Lakia Bailey and the Sickle Cell Community Consortium, and just speak to, what you were saying about the unity in the community. Something I'm going to be bringing as far as unity in the community. It's just speaking up on our community's issues. I'm on Facebook all the time, and I see more often, actually too often, that in so many different other contexts that I thought I was the only one that felt like this.
Wow.
And so I am going to be the one, if I ever see those words in your post, I'm going to bring that to the show and let you know you're not the only one.
Yeah, again, powerful.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm just going to bring, a half of the female perspective. I want to reach out to my girls to stand up and be loud about, how you feel in your community, because we're all in this fight together.
Amen.
and we have the soldier on the battlefield.
Whoop-de-whoop.
Hey, is that
Hey,
Shay?
soldier.
Hey,
Hello.
Breezy.
What's up, soldier?
Yeah. What do you have? Oh, we're so proud of
Yeah,
you, girl.
Sherbrian
Thank
Howard
you,
on the
Shay.
line.
Hey,
That
darling.
is just real warrioring up. I mean, I know what you've been through over the past couple of days, and so
Past couple of
I
months.
sure appreciate you. Oh yeah, I know. Again, yes, again, she's definitely been going through some
I'm a
trials
soldier.
and just warrioring through.
Yes.
And I'm just so thankful that you're able to be with us today, Shay, and that you're part of this. And I look so forward to what you're going to bring with it. You are the most creative person that I know, and I can't wait to see what you bring to this.
That's an honor for you, Sherbrian, because KC knows a lot of creative people.
That's oh my goodness. Oh,
Well,
my
thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that.
goodness.
And I'm going to bring it. I have
Yeah.
to represent for my mothers with sickle cell.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, we're going to be going to break, and
Oh, you want to take a break? All right.
yeah, and we're going to be coming back with everybody sharing from their heart what the call is to them. And then we're going to take some calls and listen to you guys and get your response to this call, because the work is out there. We are the workers, and this is the call.
The call.
The call.
We're calling you out.
Sickle cell warriors, leaders, doctors, and caregivers.
This is the call.
Tune in to the call Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
To sickle cell trait awareness.
This is the call.
To acceptance of yourself and others around you.
This is the call.
To finding your purpose through creativity.
This is the call.
To living above sickle cell.
This is the call to unity in community.
So call in 323-473-3100 to
The call.
Saturdays 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live. This is the call. Want to enrich in your radio listening? Do it now with the new WDC radio show, LA Talk Live's new talk rock radio show, Saturdays 4 p.m. Pacific, filled with news, talk, sports, entertainment, and more. Tune in as we fill your weekend with rock and funk from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. WDC radio show. Listen as we kick off the new generation of radio with talk, rock, and funk. The all-new WDC radio show, Saturdays 4 p.m. Pacific on LA Talk Live. All right, welcome back to the call. This is Farhan Dozier. We want to thank you for tuning in today to the call. just make sure you reach out to us 323-473-3100. This platform is not for us, it's for you. We're going to create the dynamics and the conversations, but we need your input. KC is out to create unity and community, and without your voice in this platform, we're just going to be sitting here talking amongst each other. So we need you to get involved. We need you to participate. 323-473-3100. Share your information, share your resources, share your stories. I mean, we need you to call in. And so we have what we're going to bring to the table, to the platform. But again, this is not about the 4 or 5 of us. This is about our community around sickle cell. There's so many different aspects that Casey mentioned that we just can't take on by ourselves, that we need you to be that voice, to find your voice in the call and call in and participate, all right? So we're going to go around the deck, and who's going to go first to share your personal, aspects to the call?
I'm like always the first to speak up, so I'll just go ahead. Sometimes I don't want to be. Sometimes I like to give people their time, but this is my call. It's what I'm called to do. The call on my life. This is what keeps me up at night. The call to make a difference with my voice in the sickle cell community. With my voice, I'm going to be discussing my life getting blood transfusions, going to dialysis, and my efforts towards awareness in the sickle cell community. By bringing these topics to light, I want to create an understanding for people who don't understand, and for people who do have sickle cell. I want, once again, to give you that feeling of, oh, he's going through the same thing I'm going through. I'm not alone in this. I can't tell you how many nights I've sat alone in a hospital bed thinking I gotta be the only one going through this, or like sometimes I read my Facebook a lot, and I've been seeing that some people deal with pica in the community. In case you guys don't know what that is, when you have a natural craving for substances that are not edible. You're not alone in that. A lot of people, some people are ashamed of that. You don't have to be ashamed because you're not alone. You don't have to be specific about it because it is kind of embarrassing, but you don't have to be embarrassed either because you're not alone in this. You can talk about that. You can talk about going to dialysis. You can talk about the pain that you have. You don't have to keep it to yourself because you're not alone in this. And that's what I'm called to say.
Beautiful, man. That was powerful.
Well, to me, the call means a lot to me. I know I've been called to do this. I know I'm a vessel of God's, and I'm going to be, here to listen as well as to speak on issues that are important to me. Living and surviving sickle cell is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but I'm doing it, and you can't do it alone, and this platform is for you, and we just want to help each other out on a day-to-day basis, because understanding and accepting this disease for what it is the first step. So I want to be that voice, half of the female voice on this platform, a very powerful, man with powerful voices in this community. And I just want to, be a voice for the female and our young girl, going and living with sickle cell. I know God has called me to do this, so I'm just happy to be here and be a part of the call.
Awesome. Part of the call. Chebrion?
Okay, I guess it's my turn now. The call means so much to me. I believe it means a lot to the team as well. It's easy to feel lost, like you don't belong, or nobody on your own. Unity in the sickle cell community is very important to me. Being a single mother takes a lot out of me. Day to day, I'm speaking to those who feel they have no voice to speak. My offerings are to the mothers in general to let them know they too have a voice. It's my intentions to get women outside of their comfort zone. Let's heal others while healing ourselves. I want to speak about the mentality, the way we speak to each other, the way we treat one another. God sent me on this journey to lead other leaders through my creativity, praying, eating better, creating a real sense of community for my brothers and sisters all over the world. Despite differences, challenges, this cause is bigger than any individual. Losing my mother to sickle cell puts me on both sides of the scales. You know, it makes a difference. It puts fear in me sometimes, you know, to leave my daughter feeling the same way I felt as a child. You know, at such a young age, I don't want her to feel alone or like no one understands the way I did. You know, I still have unanswered questions that, you know, not even my mother's family could answer because she and I were the only ones living with sickle cell. The only, you know, now that I am the only one left, I have a bond with other warriors all over who can teach her things and help her grow and understand sickle cell in a way that I didn't understand growing up. And I just want to continue to build that, and I want to continue to share and, you know, make mistakes, but learn from them as well, and just invite everybody to use their voice.
All right, thank you, Shay Brown. That is
amazing.
very important. We're going to help you make sure that message gets across. We do have a caller that called in, so we got some listeners. So let's see
Yeah,
who this is.
that's right.
Yeah.
Promotion works.
You're on the call with the call.
Hey, I'm calling, and this is Nita calling.
Nita
Thompson. Yay.
Oh, see, warriors, man, warriors. We love them. We love them. You know, you don't necessarily have to have this disease to be a warrior when you fight as hard as Nita Thompson does for people who have sickle cell.
Yeah.
And, man, you just deserve that. I was blessed to do a little advocating with Nita this weekend for Chebrion. And I tell you, it was a real battle, Nita, and I thank you for your wisdom and your professionalism and your guidance and what you're going to bring, what you bring to the community already, and what you and I will be bringing as we, you know, manifest our community connection on the call. So thank you for calling it. Thank you for answering the call.
Oh, you're welcome. And I was on Facebook reminding folks to call in. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, we appreciate
There's a
it.
lot going on, but
appreciate
we gotta
that.
do what we gotta do.
This is just the
And we
beginning.
all need to make the call and call on behalf of others. We gotta call these hospitals. We gotta know what to say
That's right.
and how to advocate. We just don't have to be in the room, but we can be. And that's the main thing.
That's right.
Exactly.
Amen.
That is what I was going to speak to earlier. We need more advocates in our community. We don't need our friends to be our advocates because our friends have sickle cell too. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be the ones that are only advocating for us.
Right. But again, and that is one of my calls is to the advocates that are out there. I want you to know that if you're willing to, again, be boots on the ground for somebody who's in the hospital and give them that support and educate these medical professionals who have absolutely no idea and are just completely unaware of the CDC or the NIH guidelines for treating this disease. And so they make no attempt to do it. The doctors just do what they feel. They'll tell you that they know about sickle cell disease, but if you know about it, then you know to listen to the patient. But they simply never do that. They don't.
I
listen
think
to
it's
the
more of
patient.
a
They don't
guideline
believe
than
the
something
patient.
that is mandatory. I think it should be like a mandate.
Right, and
Right.
again, but when the professionals in your industry say that these are expert opinions and that these are, the best practices that you can use to treat this system. Okay, it's more than a suggestion. Okay, this is best practices, and that's
They're
what
practices and
guides-
opinions, though.
Right.
That's
And-
not a formal.
No, I understand
thing.
that. You can't. It's not a law. I get
Let him
that.
finish his call.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
What's
you
that?
like finish
Oh.
your finish your call.
Yeah,
Like,
again, the call out for advocates, again, is one of the things that I'm bringing. I always start with the Lord, and so my first call has to be to my God in the name of Jesus, to move on behalf of our community. I would ask people who can come into agreement with me in the name of Jesus to start there. And then let's build from there, because we have power in the name of Jesus. And we can take that and create change in this community that you've never seen. I'm calling on the prophets. I'm calling on the apostles. I'm calling on the teachers. I'm calling on the healers. I'm calling on the administrators. I'm calling on those who are using their gifts in the Holy Spirit to show up for our community. I'm calling on our churches to come out of the dark, like you guys don't know what sickle cell disease is. And I know that people with sickle cell disease go to church. Why aren't our churches being organized to support us in this disease? I'm calling on the African American community, which is, again, in the dark. They act like this disease is not a part of our community. I'm calling on the World Organization for Sickle Cell Disease, okay, to bring us together as a disease community that is international, that has many faces, many colors, many names that are affected by this disease. And I'm calling on us to unite and to create the changes in areas that and I know we have to do in order to save lives.
Well, you called another
We're
caller.
calling on everyone.
All right, so we got
Oh,
another
we're calling you out.
Oh yeah, I'm calling
All
them
right,
out.
we got another caller. Call you live on the call.
Yeah, this is Michael Smith.
All right, Michael.
I actually have a friend who had sickle cell,
Okay.
and also lost a friend who actually had sickle cell as well.
Thank you.
Hi,
Sorry to hear
Michael.
that.
The friend I know who had sickle cell, she was just on the phone.
Nita Thompson.
Oh, she was just on the phone.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's me. Hi, Michael.
Oh, Shabrian.
Thank you for calling.
Hello.
Okay.
Hey, all right. She got support on the battlefield.
Yes.
Beautiful,
That's what we need. Thank you.
exactly
Thank you, Michael, for calling in.
Thanks, Michael.
What would you like to
You're
say?
welcome.
What are you called to say to me?
The sickle cell, I read up on sickle cell, and I also know a lot about it, know what it can do to people. And just like what the man was just saying, a lot of people need to lift their hands up to God and pray for everybody who has sickle cell.
Yeah, pray
and
for
really
Team
lift
Sickle
their
Cell.
hands up to them.
Amen.
I mean, like, I could have died certain different kind of ways. I didn't even know I had all sorts, asthma attacks, bronchitis, but you name it. I think I probably almost had this shit. Excuse my question. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
But it's
Brother
the fact
Happens.
of a lot of people does not understand what sickle cell can do until you actually hear from a lot of people again late.
Definitely. Yeah, it's very important, Michael. We thank you for calling in and sharing that. Casey.
Absolutely. And again, yeah, man, thank you so much for calling in. And, we're looking for everybody to answer the call. The call is out, and we're going to be bringing it to you every week. Next week, we're going to start with our first survey so that we can get your voice and understand what's important to you. And so, and also we're going to be, how late are we going?
Me and Omika are going to be in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, I'm sorry,
On
thank you.
location for the
On
Sickle Cell
location.
Community Consortium Symposium.
Right.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got stuck there.
It's always a
And,
mouthful.
thank you. Yes, Diamond and Omika will be down in ATL next week, and we're going to connect down there with them, and hopefully we'll get Dr. Bailey to come on and give us a little bit about what's going on with that big event that she has.
Hopefully
and
we
also
can do it like a quick
to
interview.
make a stance for the call and to really make a stance for unity in this community and what it means to be a leader in this community the way she is. Again, the woman amazes me. I'm just so humbled every time I see how hard she works for us,
She does so
and the
much.
suffering that she goes through because, she's really invested.
Right. She
And
works
so-
for Team Sickle Cell, and that's what this show is about. Us.
Right.
This is our show, by us, for us. We need you. You need us. It's all going to work together in the Sickle Cell community. Team
Right.
Sickle Cell. There is no I in team.
Right, and if you're gonna be down in Atlanta next week, link up with us, and you can join the call while we're down there.
Try to do the interview with you.
Yeah.
All right.
And get your
before we-
voice for the call.
Before we get out of here, you know what the call is for me: sickle cell trait awareness all the way around, and we're going to unite our community around these different genes, from sickle cell trait to thalassemia to C trait to D trait,
Right.
that these families have in their bodies. And for me, sickle cell trait has its own education, awareness, and prevention, just so as sickle cell disease has its own education, awareness, and prevention. So we're going to put those together right
Yes,
here on the
we
call.
are.
So we appreciate you for listening and tuning in, and make sure you follow us. The Facebook page is KC.
Facebook page is This Is
The
Call.
All right, thanks for listening in. This is the call.
Calling you out.
Sickle cell warriors, leaders, doctors, and caregivers.
This is the call.
Tune in to the call Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
To sickle cell trait awareness.
This is the call.
To acceptance of yourself and others around you.
This is the call.
To finding your purpose through creativity.
This is the call.
To living above sickle cell.
This is the call to unity in community.
So call in 323-473-3100 to
The call.
Saturdays 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.
Yeah, they are. I'm allergic.